Hey, I'm Peter Birch. I'm back out here in my rainforest backyard. We had a really good success last time and found ourselves a diamond python. Who knows what we're going to find today? Make sure you find any excuse to get out and appreciate nature. Well, make sure you hit the notification and the like button. Let me know exactly what you think about today's show. And I hope you enjoy watching CrittaCam. Thanks, guys. Oh man, how cool is that? That was an absolute find of the century. Look how big this monster is right here. It's a giant. If I go like this, for perspective, you can see it's an absolute monster of a snake. But the reality is, this thing is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. It is absolutely tiny. This is a hatchling green tree snake. A very cool find here at my place. We do find a lot of green tree snakes in this area. They inhabit it very nicely. These little guys really love to eat things like lizards and frogs, and unfortunately they have no venom, so they don't even constrict them. They eat them live. They swallow them down. It sounds very brutal, but that's what these guys do, and that's how they live. Now, one of the gorgeous things about these beautiful little things is, and let's see if we can do this, they really have these big, awesome looking eyes right here. Check that out. Absolutely amazing. Big eyeballs for the size of their head, and the reason why is because they're fast moving animals and they've got to catch their prey. Like I said, they've got no venom to rely on. They don't do any constriction to help immobilize their prey. We've got to capture them and grab them really quickly and basically suck them down like noodles. These guys do inhabit quite a huge range in Australia. They go all up the east coast, all across the north. They do have northern varieties. They do vary in colours from yellows, greens, olives, blues, blacks. Absolutely gorgeous looking animals. And they all do the same thing. They puff up their throats as a threat display. They sort of rear back. They're very active, and they will strike and will bite, but like I said, no venom. So it's no real great threat to people as such. Very active little things, and this absolutely tiny little guy must be out looking for some tucker. He's obviously one of this year's babies hatched here on my breeding facility, as you can see. Yeah, it's a very dedicated breeding facility for things like green tree snakes. One of the cool things about these particular animals, not for our American friends but for here in Australia, it's one of the very few colubrid species we actually have here. Now, we do have a rear-fanged venomous colubrid, being the brown tree snake. I'm yet to find some on this parcel of land that I own. And also the keelbacks are another form of freshwater snake that also happens to be a keelback, also happens to be a colubrid, sorry. Absolutely gorgeous little animals, very quick, active little animals. These little beauties, when they feel threatened, will actually expand their scales and show you a base color, which typically is bluish, a bluish color. This particular guy is probably not going to do it, but they also want to give you something to remember them by, so they leave you with this little foul odor. Absolutely disgusting. So let's let him go on his way. And I guess there he goes on his way to live out his days, grow big and grow prosper. Those guys will grow to about 1 metre to 1.2 metres in length. Now that's a decent sized green tree snake and another really cool colubrid. So I guess you're wondering what I'm doing right now. Well, I did, after we caught that little green tree snake, started looking around on the forest floor here amongst the leaf litter. and to find some food items, and I did find one right here. This is the typical food item for something that's small, or like the green tree snake. This is an absolute gorgeous example of a mosquito devouring me as I'm in the rainforest. I mean, these things are just really zapping me pretty hard right now. I do actually have the blood that they love to drink. Now, more importantly, the Lamprophilus delicata that I've caught here, a small garden skink as we would call it. Probably not something that most people would find typically interesting, but these little gorgeous creatures here lay up to 4 eggs. One of the cool things about these particular little skink species, not only do they lay 4 eggs for such a small little animal, but these guys are a communal egg-laying species. So these, you typically find a nest of probably up to 400 or 500, maybe even as less as 100 eggs, with many different females contributing eggs to that nest. They all basically lay the eggs in the same spot. They all emerge around the same time, which gives them a greater opportunity to survive, and henceforth they move forth and go forth and conquer, basically. You can imagine the size of the food these guys are eating is absolutely tiny as. Very small, very quick, very abundant in areas like this, right through the forests. Absolutely gorgeous little creature again, another little reptile. Super small scales. Those super small scales enable something this small to basically get warm really quickly with small patches of sunlight poking through. Very important for a reptile to be able to heat up, source its food, look for a mate, make more babies, contribute to the food chain. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show with some cool finds in the backyard again. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the notification button, make sure to subscribe, more importantly. If you're looking for some cool merch, yeah, we've got a link now. Hit the Teespring below, chase them up, get some pretty cool merch wherever you are in the world. That's the most important thing for us. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure you hit us up on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Let me know what you guys thought about today's show. Until next time, thanks for watching CrittaCam.